This is beautiful. What is that, velvet?
All right, so welcome to another edition of Power Players. I'm your host, Mr. Winfrey, and make sure you check us out online, #Power Players. And this week we have someone that is amazing, very talented. I think I'll let them just kind of give you a little taste of what they're about. So, for the people that don't know, who are you and what do you do?
My name is Marquita Bianca, and I'm a professional dancer.
Excellent, excellent. So, thank you very much for taking time out your busy schedule. Talk to the people here at Power Players. First thing that we want to know is, you are a professional dancer. What made you what happened to make you know that you had to just be a dancer?
Oh my goodness. I was studying veterinary medicine, and on my 21st birthday, my girlfriend called me and said, "Why don't you come out and take a salsa lesson?" And I said, "No, I have to study. I'm staying at home." And she said, "No, just come for a little bit." And so I went out and saw dancers, and I thought it was awesome. The teacher sucked, but I thought the dancers were awesome. And I just said I want to do what they do.
Wow. So
It changed everything.
yeah, that's a pretty big, turnaround. So you were going to be a vet, and then you just went to dancing.
Yeah.
Just like that, huh?
It seemed just like that. I was going to go to the University of Tampa.
Wow.
And I want to say probably about 2 months after I went and took that first salsa lesson, I started traveling to DC, and there was a dance company in DC. So 6 months later, I auditioned and I made it. And I came home and I told my mom that I want to become a dancer. She said, "What kind of dancer?" So I had to explain myself that it was a technically trained dancer.
Right.
And that was it. Changed my major, joined the dance company, traveled with them for 2 years, and then I came back home.
Okay, so you changed your major to dance?
Well, I had to leave college and actually join the dance company because we traveled, and that was my training and that was my schooling right there. There wasn't going to be a way for me to stay and still study veterinary medicine, but also and do clinicals and things and still try to be in Miami on the weekend and perform. And which one was I going to choose? Clinicals or Miami?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty easy choice.
Yeah, it was.
So with dancing and a lot of the other things, what kind of goes into, if there is such a thing as an average day, but an average day for you?
An average day probably starts about 8 a.m., which is probably very normal for a lot of people. However, my day doesn't end until about 2 a.m. sometimes. So that's really, really hard. But I do get breaks and things in the beginning. But now actually owning a physical dance studio, it's a little bit different. It's more regulated than it was before. So get dressed, whatever interviews or anything that I have to do before I come into the studio, getting an instructor schedule straight, if you have any private lessons, any of those things. Just come on into work.
So a lot of times your day is just like all day, all night. So
pretty consistently sometimes. So if I am working at the studio during the day, I'll have my lunch breaks or whatever have you, and then depending on if there are any TV bookings, fashion, or anything kind of fits in all of that.
Right.
But I make my own schedule, and we have 13 instructors that work at my studio.
Okay.
So it's very easy for me to kind of fit everything else in.
Absolutely.
It might not seem like it, but it is.
So with you having so much that you have going on and it's very tedious, probably very demanding as well, what keeps you inspired or motivated to do a great job each and every day?
That is a very good question, and it's probably two things. One, I go to an amazing church. Yes. And I'm in that church 2 to 3 times a week because I just need to focus, and that is just my time to clear my head and just do what I need to do spiritually for myself. This is a passion business, so it really takes a lot out of you when you're constantly feeding others education, and if you're not continuing to stay somewhere where you're spiritually grounded, you can very easily get depleted And I saw myself getting depleted once I first opened and was traveling at the same time. So that's my first thing. And I try to give myself as much time as possible as I can just to do the fun stuff.
Right.
I call it the dumb things, you know, the brainless things.
Right.
People do like Candy Crush, you know, things like that. But
Okay.
I have my little games and things that I like to.
Some guilty pleasures.
Yes. But my spiritual grounding keeps me in the direction of excellence. I have a really awesome pastor.
Now, you mentioned, you know, some of the TV bookings, and I saw you on 13, was it?
Yeah, we did Channel 13 for our senior citizen dance program that we have.
Tell us a little bit about that, because that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so for the past 3 years, I've been directing the dance education for a senior citizen dance program at the Sandler Center.
Right.
And that's been an awesome blessing, and that even happened before I had a dance studio. And so for months on end during the year, we give free dance lessons to seniors over the age of 60.
Oh, wow. That's great, giving it back and paying it forward. So
Absolutely.
excellent. So with all that you have going on, and like you said, it's pretty passionate, so you're doing what you want to do. What else out there, let's say if you just had to start over from scratch and you weren't doing anything that you were doing now, what would you be doing?
You know, I can't think of myself doing anything else.
Wow.
It would be really different if I did one thing. I don't think I'd be able to do one thing. I love dance, but I kind of get to sprinkle fashion. I get to do shows, and then I get to perform, and then I get to do TV, and then I get to do commercials. So I couldn't imagine myself really doing anything else, maybe because I do so many different things.
Right. So
Hard.
that's great. You know, a lot of people can really, you know, take a good, I guess, good set of notes from you. You know, you're doing the right things, you're paying it forward, you're giving it back, you're very spiritual, and it allows you to, I guess, be blessed with, you know, living a great life and doing exactly what you want. So that's great. Hope people are really paying attention to that. Now, you deal with a lot of different people. You come in contact with a lot of different, you know, various outlets, you know, like you said, TV, fashion, and, you know, dealing in those arenas by itself can be demanding. What are some of the pet peeves that you have about doing it?
That's a really good question. About dealing with people in the industry.
Just period. In your day-to-day work, like what really gets you going?
I have a couple of rules, especially here with the studio. So I'm all about people, and that's what our business is about.
Right.
So if you cannot come in and connect, or be compassionate, or be just personable, you can't work here. So I simply tell my instructors, if you can't hug a neck, high five, and you don't know a person's name as they walk out the door, there's not a place for you here. And I think one of my pet peeves, beyond just that of being personable and compassionate against other people, is also just being respectful of people's time. I don't know if maybe somehow to some people that has gone out of style, but you know, being on time, calling if you're gonna be late, you know, if you're not showing up at all, or you know, just we all have really demanding schedules, and life doesn't stop happening because of one person. So if we can just all kind of just respect each other, then the world would probably just flow.
That's true. You know, punctuality is important. And like you said, it's about the respect, because a lot of people have so many moving parts in their life. And if you're a moving part of someone else's life, then you kind of got to give that person that respect. So,
Absolutely.
Great point. As far as you're giving people a glimpse of you a little bit today, what's one thing that you want most people, or should I say everyone, to know about you?
Oh, that's a really good question. You know, I'm really open when it comes to just with the business. I mean, when you walk in, it's probably very easy for people to see and imagine someone who's very high maintenance and all those things, because there's always a glamour scene, there's always hair, there's always costumes, there's always tons of makeup. I really am a pretty simple girl. I love to just be around people, and I love connection. I'm really, really attracted to connection.
Right.
Whether it be a friendship connection, whether it be a business connection, any of those things I'm really attracted to. So I think that I would want people to know that I'm just really personable, and also very simple and silly, which, you know, a lot of times someone may not see that if I'm just standing at a venue. I've had people tell me that. And so it's something I'm still continuing to work on, to make sure that I'm showing them that I'm that. Other than that would probably be the biggest thing.
Definitely. Well, you mentioned that you're all about connections. How can those that are watching connect with you? How can they find you?
Tons of stuff. So the easiest way, you can Google Marquita Bianca. That always sounds so cliche.
How do you spell it?
So Marquita
Okay.
Bianca.
All right.
That's a good way. But all my social media, all of my websites, MarquitaBianca.com. My Instagram is Marquita Bianca. My Facebook is Marquita Bianca, and our studio is by Lofusion. But you can get there through all the Marquita Bianca sites.
Definitely. So make sure y'all remember that Marquita Bianca. You definitely want to make sure you stay in contact with one of the very, very, very influential power players that is here and abroad, because I've heard you've been doing a little traveling. So definitely want to thank you very much for taking time out your busy schedule. I know
Of course, always. You have to come dance. I'm going to put you out there on the spot that you have not been into my studio to dance yet, and so we're going to rectify that.
Yeah, the way my legs set up. You
don't know if it's going to go through. It's
Nah,
going to be okay. You can come in and it'll be good.
It won't be pretty.
That's why I have a job.
Yeah, but you're great, but you may not be able to teach.
Oh, I'm amazing. Trust me. Let me show you. It's okay. See, that's how we end. You say, oh, I'm going to be there.
I'm going to try to be there. I'm going to try. Thank you guys for watching Power Players again. Marquita Bianca.
My name's Marquita Bianca, and you're watching Power Players.